So our progress report says we are at stage 9, paragraph page 702. Stage 9 already. And the last head word was centigrade,
Centigrade.
new word type of lesson. Okay, so let's start with revision. Okay, let me
Hmm.
just scroll down. 96. Okay, here we go. First question. Okay, which tool would you need if you wanted to hit a nail into a piece of wood? Which tool would you need if you wanted to hit a nail into a piece of wood? I'd need a hammer.
I need a
If
hammer
I wanted to hit
if I
a
wanted to
nail
hit a
into
nail
a piece of wood.
into a piece of wood.
Ragged, are beans good for the health? Are beans good for the health? Yes, beans
Yes,
are good for the
beans
health.
are good for the
What
health.
do we mean when we say that someone's full of beans? What do we mean when we say that someone's full of beans? When we say
When
that
we say
someone's
there are
full of
someone's
beans,
full of
we
beans,
mean they're
we
full of
mean
life
they are full of
and
life
energy.
and energy.
Ragged, what does the idiom cut corners mean? What does the idiom cut corners mean? The idiom
The
cut
idiom
corners mean
cut corners
do
mean
something quickly
do something
and
quickly
not as well
as not as well
as you could.
as it could.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. There wasn't enough
There
money
wasn't
to
enough money
complete the job
to
properly,
complete the job
so
properly,
we had to cut
so we
corners.
had to cut corners.
Very good. What do we mean by a person's social life? What do we mean by a person's social life? By a person's
By a
social life,
person's social
we
life,
mean what they
we mean
do
what they
with their
do
friends,
with
etc.,
their friends,
in their
etc.,
free time outside
in their
work.
free time outside work.
Very good. What part of the book is this? What part of the book is this? That part of
That
the book
part of the book
is the edge.
is the edge.
Can we balance a coin on its edge? Can we balance a coin on its edge? Yes or no? We
Yes, we
can
can
balance
borrow
a coin on
a
its
coin
edge.
on its edge.
Can we cut bread with a thick edge of a knife? Can we cut bread with a thick edge of a knife? No, we can't
No,
cut
we
bread
can't cut
with the
bread
thick edge
with
of
the
a
thick
knife.
edge of a knife.
Very good. What does the verb to edge mean? What does the verb to edge mean? The verb to
The
edge
verb
means
to edge
to
means
move slowly
to
and
move
carefully
slowly
towards
and
somewhere.
carefully towards somewhere.
Why does a car have to edge forward slowly when turning from a side street into a main street? Why does a car have to edge forward slowly when turning from a side street into a main street? A car
A
has to
car
edge forward
has to
slowly
edge forward
when
slowly
turning from a side street
when turning from a side
into a
street
main street
into a main
so
street,
that the other
so
cars
that the other
have
cars
enough time
have enough
to see
time
what
to
it
see
intends
what
doing.
it intends doing.
Very good. Why do factories put food in tins? Why do factories put food in tins? Factories put food
Factories
in
put
tins
foods in
to
tins
preserve it.
to preserve it.
What metal is tin made of? What metal is tin made of? A tin
A
is made
tin
of tin
is made of
or
tin
aluminum.
or aluminum.
Very good. On average, how many times a week do you go out socially? On average, how many times a week do you go out socially? On average,
On
I go
average,
out socially
I go out socially about 3 or 4 times a
a week.
week.
Very good. How do most adjectives of two syllables which have the stress on the first syllable form their comparatives and superlatives? How do most adjectives of two syllables which have the stress on the first syllable form their comparatives and superlatives? Most adjectives
Most
of two
adjectives
syllables.
with two form syllables.
One more. Most adjectives of
Most
two syllables
most adjectives of two syllables
which have the stress
which have the
on the
stress
first syllable
on the
form
first
their
syllable
comparatives.
hmm,
Form their comparatives
form their
and
comparatives
superlatives
and
by adding
superlatives
er
by adding
and
er
est.
and est.
Give me some examples. Give me some examples, please. Narrow, narrower,
Narrow,
narrowest.
narrower, narrowest.
Happy, happier,
Happy,
happiest.
happier, happiest.
Where in which adjectives of two syllables form their comparatives and superlatives by using more than and the most? Which adjectives of two syllables form their comparatives and superlatives by adding more than and the most? The adjectives
The
of two
adjectives
syllables
of two
which
syllable
form their
which form
comparatives
their
and
comparatives
superlatives
in
by
superlatives
adding more than
by adding
and
more
the
than
most
and the
are
most
those ending
are those
in
ending
FUL
in
or
FEL
LESS?
or LESS.
Give me some examples. Give me some examples, please. Careful, more careful,
Careful,
the
more
most
careful,
careful.
the most careful.
Useless, more useless,
Useless,
the
more
most useless.
useless, the most useless.
Very good. How do we form the comparative of superlative of adjectives made from the participles of verbs? How do we form the comparatives and superlatives of adjectives made from the participles of verbs? We form the
We
comparatives
form the
and
comparatives
superlatives
and
of
superlatives
adjectives
of
made
adjectives
from the
made
participles
from
of
the
verbs
participles of
by
verbs
using more
by
than
using
and the
more
most.
than and the most.
Give me some examples. Give me some examples, please. Exciting, more
Exciting,
exciting,
more
the
exciting,
most exciting.
the most exciting,
Tired, more tired,
more
the
tired,
most tired.
the most tired.
Right? If you are not sure how to form the comparative and superlative of an adjective, what is it best to do? If you are not sure how to form the comparative and superlative of an adjective, what is it best to do? If you are not there, ask questions
They ask questions
about their personal background.
about the personal background.
What kind of activities do you apply your energy to most? What kind of activities do you apply your energy to most? The kind of
The
activities
kind of
I
activities
apply my
I apply
energy
to
to
my
most
energy
are
to most are traveling, camping, scuba diving, etc.
a lot. Very good. Does the law of the land apply to everybody? Does the law of the land apply to everybody? Yes. The law of
Yes,
the
the
land
law of the
applies
land
to everybody.
applies to everybody.
Do you know what you have to do to apply for a new passport? Do you know what you have to do to apply for a new passport? Yes or no?
Yes, I know
What to do to
what to
apply
do to
for a new
apply
passport?
for a new passport.
Very good. Give me a sentence with the word highly in it. Give me a sentence with the word highly, please. It's highly probable
It's highly
that the
probable
Browns
that
won't
the
come
Browns
today.
won't come today.
Very good. Name me a profession that is both highly respected and highly paid. Name me a profession that is both highly respected and highly paid, please. A profession that
A
is both
profession
highly
that is
respected
most highly
and
respected
highly paid is
and highly paid is a doctor.
very good, which is one of the most ancient civilization in the history of the world. Which is one of the most ancient civilization in the history of the world. One of the most
One of the
ancient
most
civilization
ancient
in the history
civilization
of the
in the
world
history of the
is
world
the Egyptian
is
civilization,
the Egyptian
the
civilization,
Babylonian
the,
civilization,
the Babylonian civilization,
etc.
etc.
Right? How many degrees are there in a right angle? How many degrees are there in a right angle? There are 90
There
degrees
are 90
in a
degrees
right angle.
in the right angle.
What do you think the temperature is today? What do you think the temperature is today? I think the
I think
temperature is
the
about
temperature is about 33 degrees
degrees
centigrade
today.
today.
Where if a student gets an A grade in an exam, is that a good result or a bad result? If a student gets an A grade in an exam, is that a good result or a bad result? If a student
If a
gets an
student
A grade
gets an A
in an
grade
exam,
in an
that's a
exam,
good result.
that's a good result.
Very good. Okay, so that's the end of our revision. Let's have new word.
Mm,
Okay, repeat somewhat.
Someone,
One more. Somewhat.
somewhat.
Very good. Okay, listen. Somewhat is an adverb. It means more or less. For example, I'd say he was somewhat lacking in common sense. Let's practice. Give me a sentence with the word somewhat. Give me a sentence with the word somewhat, please. I'd say he
I
was
say
somewhat lacking
he was
in
somewhat
common
lucky
sense.
in common sense.
On average, are Scandinavian people somewhat
Well,
taller than the people in the rest of Europe? On average, are Scandinavian people somewhat taller than the people in the rest of Europe? Yes. On
yes,
average,
on average,
Scandinavian people
Scandinavian
are
people
somewhat taller
are somewhat
than
taller
people in the
than
rest of Europe.
people in the rest of Europe.
Very good. Give me a sentence. Oh, next repeat at all.
Beat at all,
Oh, at all.
at all.
Very good. Okay, listen. At all is an adverb. It means to the slightest degree. For example, it's very strange. I work hard all day, but don't feel tired at all. Let's practice. Give me a sentence with the words at all. Give me a sentence with the words at all, please. It's very strange.
It's very
I
strange.
work hard all
I
day,
work hard all
but
day,
don't feel tired
but don't feel
at
tired
all.
at all.
Very good. Okay, now let's have idiom 28. Why on
Idiom
earth?
Why on earth?
Very good. Okay, listen. The idiom why on earth means a very strong form of why. For example, why on earth didn't you call me and ask for help? Let's practice. What does the idiom why on earth mean? What does the idiom why on earth mean? The idiom why
The
on
idiom
earth
why
means
on earth
a
means
very
a
strong form of
very
why.
strong form of why.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. I just can't understand
I just can't
why on
understand
earth they
why
got
on earth
married
they got
if
married
they don't like each other
if they don't like each
very
other
much.
very much.
Very good. Next, repeat unity.
Unity.
Okay, unity is a noun. It is the state of being joined together or in agreement. Okay, now let's have using nouns as an adjective.
Using noun as an adjective.
Very good. Okay, listen. Okay, we can often use a noun as an adjective in English simply by putting it immediately before another noun, as in the expression train station. When we do this, the word train becomes an adjective to describe the noun station. For example, a shoe shop is a shop. The word shoe tells us what it sells. A book cover is a cover for a book. Sometimes these expressions are used so often that they eventually become one word. For example, ashtray, bedroom, toothbrush, school bag, etc. Let's practice. How can we often use a noun as an adjective in English? How can we often use a noun as an adjective in English? We can often use a
You can
noun
often use
as
a
an
noun
adjective in
as an
English
adjective in
by putting
English
it immediately
or putting it immediately
before another noun.
before as a noun.
Give me three examples. Give me three examples, please. Window cleaner,
Window dinner.
window cleaner,
A window cleaner.
hat basket,
Hot basket.
school bag.
School bag.
What's a water bottle? What's a water bottle? A water bottle
A water
is a
bottle
bottle
is
that
a
is
bottle
made to
that
carry
is
water.
made to carry water.
What kind of plate do we eat dinner from? What kind of plate do we eat dinner from? We eat dinner
We eat dinner
from a dinner plate.
from a dinner plate.
Very good. Okay, so now let's move on to reading.
Reading.
Okay, so our reading is at stage 8, paragraph page 673. Last headword was keyboard. Okay, please start at page 674. Armor.
Armor. Yes, armor. Why did soldiers wear armor in the old days? Soldiers wore armor in the old days to protect themselves in battle. Spread. How can we prevent a fire from spreading? We can prevent a fire from spreading by making everything around it wet. All over. Do you think people are basically the same all over the world? Yes, I think people are basically the same all over the world. Fascinated. Have you ever visited a particular part of the world simply because you were fascinated by the local culture? Yes, I've visited a particular part of the world simply because I was fascinated by the local culture. Scene, murderer, evidence. Why do you think murderers sometimes return to the scene of their crime? I think murderers sometimes return to the scene of their crime because they think that they may have left some evidence there. Can a court find someone guilty of a crime if there is no evidence? No, a court can't find someone guilty of a crime if there is no evidence. I.e., it is, that is, what are the letters IE, the abbreviation of? The letters IE are the abbreviation of it is. When do we use this abbreviation? We use this abbreviation mainly in writing. Be used to something, get used to something. At first, accustomed. What does it mean if we say that we are used to something? If we say that we are used to something, it means that it is not strange or uncomfortable for us anyone because we have experience of it. Give me an example, please. He's lived on that busy street for many years, so he is used to the traffic noise. Is an African person used to hot weather? Yes, an African person is used to hot weather. Why? Because it is hot in Africa, and if someone is born and brought up there, hot weather is normal for them. When a family moves to a new town, do you think it's easier for the children to get used to everything than it is for the parents? Yes, when a family moves to a new town, I think it's easier for the children to get used to everything than it is for the parents. Why do we put the why do we put the gerund after the expression to be used to? We put the gerund after the expression to be used to because the word to is a preposition. Give me an example, please. At first, it was difficult, but but now I'm used to getting up early.
Mhm.
Are you used to starting with the Callan method? Yes, I'm used to starting with the Callan method. Do you think you could ever get used to living in a country where your language wasn't spoken? Yes, I think I could ever get used to living in a country where my language wasn't spoken. What does the idiom pull yourself together mean? The idiom pull yourself together means gain control of. Give me an example, please. Stop crying and pull yourself together.
Very good. Okay, so stop there for today. But